the batteries are dead, bro. The batteries are. You got this at Comic-Con, right?
We are live, fellas. Nothing has happened at all since we last talked. It's been
nothing at all. Yeah, just like everything.
really boring.
Just like...
All right, let's just adjourn.
In fact,
I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, we'll do it later.
Hopefully, there's something to talk about.
It's been quiet.
We're here to talk about Arena Breakout, right? That's what we're here to talk about. That's
Ooh,
what
I'm down.
No, Dungeonborn, dude.
Oh, God.
We're gonna talk about the
Dungeon.
Dungeonborn.
Yes, sir.
Wait, should we actually talk about that for a few minutes though, or are you guys signed up? Is this a real thing?
No, God, no, bro.
No.
Oh, okay.
Why are you excited for it?
Me either. Then.
Yeah.
I want to see the changes, so I signed up, but we can just end it there.
Yeah, honestly, a good
Fair
stream.
enough.
Honestly, good podcast. Let's
Yeah.
go hop on Dungeonborn.
All right.
All right.
And we're out. All right,
Well,
let's dive
friends,
in. So, yeah.
The last time we met, it was the end of the wipe. It was a little bit of doom, a little bit of gloom, but some all-around fair criticisms, I felt like. And the state of the game now is a little bit different. So, where were you guys Friday when the patch dropped? No, wait. SGF was first. So, SGF went live during the, how long was the patch? 12 hours, close to it? 11 or 12 hour patch. And for I think the only time I can remember, they did not release the patch notes when they took the game down. They made everybody wait in suspense. SGF happened.
Well, respectfully, we knew 12 hours was coming minimum. Like they said before, everybody knew this is Iron Mace. It's probably going to be at least 6, probably 24. So when I saw 12, I was actually, I was actually ready and relieved and ready to go, and we got in there right away. That was actually.
I thought it was going to be longer. I thought they were going to say like during SGF, like tonight the wipe will happen at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then everybody would be waiting. There'd be floodgates, but I liked what they did instead, which for all of us and for those that didn't see, it was just the trailer, and it's like Dark and Darker is free to play now. Wipe, like wipe is happening in this very second. And so I was in the call with a couple other Dark and Darker players, and we're like, okay, SGF is over for us now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll learn about other games later. It is time for Dark and Darker only. So that was the end of the Summer Games Fest for me and the start of the Dark and Darker wipe.
It was timed really well too. Like the Dark and Darker announcement happened on Steam Fest or Game Fest, whatever, and then the servers were just up like at the perfect time. It was actually perfect.
Yep, I was surprisingly, or just like very pleasantly surprised after what happened at OTK. Right, OTK had a cool announcement. But unfortunately, the game was not available to play or download. And at the time, it was still just Blacksmith, right? So for those of you guys that didn't see OTK event, that's Asmongold and Soda Poppin' and a lot of other big streamers that are part of that gaming team and stream team. They had a pretty big event. Dark and Darker was front and center on the big stage, and when they announced that you could download it on Blacksmith, you could go. I went and I checked 9 or 10 different feeds. I went back and watched all the VODs just to see how the chat reacted. Almost every chat, I was getting so amped up because almost every chat was like just Pog, just nothing but Pog, all up and down, like, holy shit, an actual real game. This game is great. This game is great. This game is great. And then you waited till the end, and it was Asmon saying, download the Blacksmith launcher. And then it was like, nope, not going to do it. No thanks. Nope. And then a few people are like, servers are down, can't download the game, can't get the game. And I'm just like ready to jump off a roof, like just so mortified. And I know they were too. So when they pulled it off on Friday, man, it was really nice to see.
Have any of us transferred to Steam yet? Just like as a side note, I know I have not yet.
I haven't downloaded the Steam version. I need to though, because I need to write a good review.
I downloaded it, but since we can't move our code over, I haven't actually dived in yet.
Now, do we know like that is planned right there? They do plan on having
some kind
tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
okay.
or tomorrow-ish.
Like, I'm fine playing the Black launcher. I was just kind of curious because Steam is pretty big quality of life, you know. But
it makes it so easy too with like the giant free-to-play announcement as well. Despite the negativity that came with that, like the way they went about it, the idea of free-to-play was also a surprise, and I think that's the best part because now, anytime anybody comes to watch when the big streamers play, you don't have that many games where like a big streamer is playing, and people are like, "How much is this?" And they're like, "It's free."
And you want to just dive into that? Just talk about the free to play and start there. Like, how do we feel about like the free to play system they have in place? Like the
really good
matchmaking. Like, how do we feel around the room? So bad?
Just like I think it's really good. Like the majority of the game is available, and now with the gear score changes and the free to play, it's really easy for people to dive in and spend that first like 50 or 60 hours. You'll definitely know if you want to buy the game by the end. And I think they did a really good job locking certain aspects like characters and trading because there are things that you don't necessarily need, but there are things that you want. And if you're enjoying the game, you would buy those.
So 100%.
This is like the first time I've kind of seen a system like that where basically the whole game is available for the most part. And then for like $35, you could you could play forever for free if you wanted to. So I think it's a really good system.
Even before they added the normal plus lobbies, which we'll talk about later, I think like the whole idea and the whole intent behind the free to play system was like really good. I think give people limited access. Obviously, you can't let them get access to the marketplace or like access to the end game high roller for free because that's just an invitation to cheaters and exploits and destroying the economy. So like that makes perfect sense. I do agree with like the Steam backlash and a lot of the comments on Steam. If you guys don't know, Steam reviews early on were horrendous. People were bitching because they couldn't use their items in free to play. And like the more I thought about it, at first I was like, stop complaining, just buy the game. But the more I thought about it, I was like, the whole enjoyment you get from this game is like progressing and just having no direction to go when you play. It does seem kind of pointless, and I do kind of understand the reviews, and I do like the way Iron Mace adjusted. So I think Iron Mace they're doing good. They are doing good. I like where they're going.
To be fair, that was probably when I looked through the reviews, that was maybe like a fifth of the reviews. Everybody else was just they were shitting on the game for it not being what they wanted as far as what they considered a free to play. And to be fair, it has been some like back and forth. Is it a demo? Is it a free to play game? Because free to play, you can usually earn stuff through time, but there's no option for them to really unlock extra character slots or other stuff so like they can play the game, but it's more akin to a demo. And then they unleashed the new normals mode, which is great and fantastic and wonderful. And I'm super hyped because it does give them more of the gameplay loop to determine whether or not they really like it. But yeah, I can understand it's more like, a free trial demo experience than it is a free to play game at the core of it. And I get that. But the amount of reviews that I saw were bashing it and like giving it thumbs down and like it was way too many. There's way too many people that were just generally, well, they were shitty. They were shitty people.
It made me lose faith in humanity for a short period of time for sure.
Yeah, don't read the reviews.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys understand, you're shitting on like one of the best games that's been made in years. And it's just like getting review bombed by people who have 30 minutes of game time. That it was driving me nuts. But
yeah, it was for the wrong reason. Like if you don't like the game, express your reasons, but if you just don't like it because it's not your idea of what a free-to-play game is, that's kind of weird.
The worst part was like you would see a negative review and then they would start their negative review off, at its core, the game is fun. They would like always start the negative review with the game is really fun, and then X, Y, and Z free to play, yada yada yada. I'm like,
I did not like the free to play problem.
That's the most important part. That's the hardest part of making a game is making a fun game. There are so many game developers that just like spend millions of dollars making a game, and then at the end of the day, it's just not fun to play. And Dark and Darker just made a really fun game. People are acknowledging it, and they still give a negative review. It drives me nuts sometimes. Sorry, I'm gonna stop my rant before I get a hot bother.
Yeah, free to play was great. It's a great addition. We need it.
Totally agree. Agree all around. I read some of the Steam reviews. I had the same takes that you and M-Boss had all around. It was really disappointing to see. I feel like that trend is going to reverse over time. I think there will be, once everybody converts over to Steam, we get all the OGs, there, I think, and you have the opportunity to write a review, which unless I'm missing it, you have to actually download the game through Steam to leave a review, right? I'm not mistaken about that, right? So once everybody does that and makes the migration, then I think we'll see the reviews turn around. But yeah, like as far as Friday goes, that was the only like error I can think of. When that patch dropped, I was in the car on my way to Indianapolis for a soccer tournament. So I did not get to play till Sunday night. So I had to live vicariously through all of you beautiful people. And like across the board, I was flipping around a little bit, watching a little bit of everybody. It seemed like everyone was absolutely juiced about the Ice Abyss, the new mobs, dragon, the druid. I mean, where do we want to start?
Oh, there's so much cool stuff. Oh my god, where do you want to start? What do you think, Subby?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Maybe we start about Druid. Druid was like the big thing. Like we have Ice Abyss stuff, but maybe we start on Druid. Druid has officially released, and I just to say, I think it originally released very overtuned. I think Iron Mace knows that. I think everybody knows that. And they did a huge sequence of nerfs on the first hotfix, nerfing just about everything on Druid, almost all their forms, their scaling, their snare duration on their the healing, yeah. And even throughout all these nerfs, I still feel like it is a very strong, borderline overpowered class. And just kind of, what do you guys think?
I think it's the most fun to play class.
Oh, super fun, yeah.
It is the most fun solo class to play. Hands down. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it half as much as I have been enjoying it. I started with my cleric and went like 40 levels and then was like, you know what? I should play my druid. And that was all I did nonstop for the following 40 levels. It's like, I just want to keep playing that class. Everything about it is fun.
Everyone that I know who plays it loves it. For me personally, I just can't get enjoyment when I play it. I don't know. I feel like such an outlier. I don't like.
You're a trios player though.
I think it's no. It's great. It's great in trios. It's really good in trios. Yeah, and I play lots of trios. Yeah, I just don't get enjoyment from the shapeshifting. If I could just play 10 spell druid,
enjoyment from.
If I could play 10 spell druid, I would. I love the spells. I think Trent is really cool. I love the snares. I love the bramble wall. The heals are not very strong, but they're
a lot of displacement.
They're good. Yeah, Starfire is not bad. Like if I could just play 10 spell druid, I would totally just like at least try it.
I'd rather play 10 form druid personally, but like for me, druid's fun and I enjoy it, but it's like fun. And I already have a lot of other characters that I could go on to and have fun as like the guy with like 2,000 hours on fucking cleric. But it just doesn't feel like it feels like a different cleric. You know, like it still has the same like, oh, you're out of the druid's tiny little range, but at least the druid can chase, whereas the cleric can't, and the druid can escape, whereas the cleric can't. So the forms are like where I get most of the fun is just like jumping around and counterplay and outplaying people with forms and ratting. But like as far as combat efficiency, I don't feel like I'm gonna win a 1v1 as a druid, or like it just doesn't make me feel like I've gone somewhere different. It's fun in trios though, really fun in trios and fun in duos, but solo, I was miserable on it solo, except running around and ratting places and hiding, and that was it. Like hiding behind a treasure chest that I just opened the lid of in an open room because I knew somebody was going to chase me, and then just ratting beneath it because they can't see me and they walk past. Oh yeah, that's just great. But that's about like the most enjoyment I get. That and squawking in the pregame lobby.
Oh my god!
The Panther chicken tech though, the movement check, the movement tech.
I think that's getting changed. I think they're going to add a cooldown to shape shifting. I don't think they're going to let that one go. I think it's unintended.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's very strong, very satisfying, but I do
very strong and very satisfying.
It needs such change. I think just having a 1 second global cooldown on shapeshift would fix almost all the problems with Druid. I think
it's probably going to end up with more than a 1 second. I feel like it's almost too much of a hassle, the amount of forms you can shapeshift into to take advantage of it. But that's again, Druid's in a really weird place because those forms need to be effective because that's pretty much all it is. But also they're infinite charges. You know, it's kind of like how Warlock spells were balanced around health, but at the end of the day, Warlock is a busted class that restores its health. Druid's got an entire spell wheel of different forms. You can't really make them all busted, but
yeah, I mean, I think Panther's crazy strong. If you actually build an Agi set and you get like 40, 45 Agi, on a druid, you will 2-shot a wizard, 3 shots at most.
And they get the silence that everybody's
that's where
really
I was going with it. They got to get rid of that silence. Silences are just unhealthy in every game on any class that has it. It's never good. It was OP on Bard. It's OP on Druid. The pacify on Rogue, Cutthroat. Yeah, the pacify on Bard is also the one that stops melee. Like that's also like really oppressive. There shouldn't be one button clicks in this game that turn off certain classes. That just you're asking for a toxic gameplay loop. But yeah, at most you can make it an interrupt. Maybe to interrupt a spell that would make more sense. But that's about it.
We haven't we haven't seen interrupts yet. And I think an interrupt would be strong if the E interrupted once, or like if you used the E and then you right clicked, and if they were casting, they would be silenced for 1 second, and if they were not casting, like nothing would happen. I think that would be strong. But it definitely needs. Right now, I was just talking about this with Enmoss. We were doing duos, and Druid. It is like kind of weak in solos, but that it is pretty oppressive. Like we don't really see very many casters in solos anymore. The triad is over in my opinion, because now you have a class that's fast and can silence and it does big damage. And then you have rogues who are pretty much back to using cutthroat almost all the time. Like all the rogues I see are all cutthroat rogues. They might not be landmines, but they're like cutthroating off the hand crossbow or whatever the case is. And so now that the movement speed penalty for plate is like way lower, you have way heavier classes moving faster. And I think that like interrupted the triumvirate somehow because there's not a lot of magic users. I'd love to hear your opinion about trios, Ken, because I don't know. I don't see any wizards at all in solos. I don't think I've seen a single one in like a week.
Casters are fine. Like Warlock is still, I think, very good. I think Druid's a caster, Cleric's a caster. I think Wizard is really weak right now. It's just you are the squishiest class in the game. You are not that actually you're just not faster than anybody. Like if you're in a good gear set, you're at like 305 move speed. Like in a good gear set. And then with haste, you may be there, but a lot of people are dropping haste and playing like 5-spell no haste now. So like most classes could just run you down, and then sure you give up your tankiness, you give up mobility, and you're still just not doing damage. You just don't do damage anymore. That's the main problem. They balanced all of Wizards' spells base damage based on how well they scaled with gear. So they lowered Fireball base damage by like 10, 15. They lowered Ice Bolt. They lowered Magic Missile. And then because gear was so strong, and then they nerfed gear, and then the base damage are still the same and low. So now like you're just hitting like paper. And the Staff Master's nerfed too, so you can't even do like the bonk build.
Yeah, I've hardly seen any wizards anywhere.
I still have fun playing it. It's still my favorite class to play. I'm still going to play tons of it, but it's definitely in the worst spot it's ever been. When people come into my stream and they ask if it's my first time playing, I really love the wizard archetype. Should I? Do you think I should play? I'm like, no, don't do anything else. Yeah, especially in solos. Definitely, it's so bad. But yeah,
I feel the same way about Druid a lot. A lot of people come into chat because I main Druid all the time now, and my permadeath character is also a Druid, so I just swap between them a lot. And everyone comes in to ask, like, how do I play Druid well? And I'm like, I'm going to be honest, like, it's not really a new player-friendly class. It's not even like a middling friendly player class. It's great if you're trying to PvE because it has a ton of heals and like a natural recovery system. And like you guys said, Druid is hands down the funnest class in the game. Like, it's just super interesting. The Panther Glide, the rat jump through the windows, like it was made for Goblin Cave because like everything has a window and there's always like weird little spots you can rat through. I just like learned today there's like a module where you can run through a crack in the wall into the next module, and so you can actually like transition. Like it's really weird. You're basically unchaseable in many respects, except by other druids.
But it's very frustrating. I'm going to say it is very frustrating. The rat form might need some.
I proposed a solution to this.
Make it a raccoon form, so it's slightly bigger.
No, I got you guys. This is the solution, and when Iron Mace implements it, you can all come back and say thank you to the end boss. You ready? I've already told Josh about this. You heard this. All right. Panther form should highlight rat form like trap detection. You should be able to chase down fucking rats as a panther.
I mean, that's good for druids. What about everybody else?
Nobody else gets it. Fuck that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a druid sniffing druid only.
I just feel like it's a thing. I think that would be a nice little interaction. The druid should be able to sniff it out.
A side note, a quality of life change that I think they should add to druids shapeshifts particularly is, I think, allied shapeshifts, like people who are shapeshifted on your team, they should just have like a slightly different shade on their skin. sometimes when you have 2 druids on your team and you're fighting 2 other druids and there's 2 panthers and a bear and a rat and you just can't tell who's who.
That's it. That's just the way the game is. When it's a cluster of flesh, you never know what is out there. You just got to guess and throw something in and pray you're healing or hitting the right target. It's the same thing when I'm sitting back and I watch 3 barbarians just going into a fucking fling fest with each other.
Yeah, like, but they have unique armors. They look slightly different. There's
might not. Most barbarians, I'm going to be honest with you, no shirt on. Okay. Zweihanders with a fucking barboot or whatever. And then
but one might have a Viking helmet. One might have a Grimanjubu, there'll be some but there's
such
zero
diversity.
But there's zero diversity in the forms is the point I'm trying to make. And WoW does it
true.
Where if you have more than one druid, they look different. There's different skins for allied druids and enemy druids.
Plus the auras on the shape. There's like leaves flying and panthers flying and chickens becoming rats, becoming bear. Like it is.
When one of your rat teammates are chasing another rat, I'm like, dude, who do I shoot? I don't know, man.
Look for those nameplates.
Kill them all. But half the time they're like 20 feet above the rat.
When you swap forms, it definitely is like, I'm gonna put the name play here.
Yeah,
you're like, I didn't see it and I bonked you.
So far I have had 3 rat duels in Goblin where like I'm fighting another druid and then we both go rat. Like one player's low and he goes rat and the other one goes, and then I call it rat jousting, where like you're basically one shot, and so you're like scurrying and then you like try to jump attack it. It's so awesome, and then you finally die. Even dying is fun. You're like, oh no, like it's like knife fighting in Counter-Strike.
Oh god,
it's so good.
That is fun.
So let's circle back to go ahead.
Just to finish that, it's the only class where you can have any amount of gear on. Like you could be in 20k in gear and you can get one shot by like anything if you choose poorly when to use.
It sounds like Wizard, actually. Holy shit!
I knew you was gonna say
that. But like I'm just imagining jumping through a window as rat in like 20k, like all legos, and you jump into a ranger trap or like a Molotov, or somebody's like just shooting at the like whatever the case is. I'm just waiting for someone to be like, wow, this little dead rat on the ground is worth 20,000.
I'm surprised the Rangers aren't just like putting traps inside of the windows. You know how you can put like the traps in the windows?
They're doing it. They're doing it. People
I haven't really
they didn't know.
But put a little piece of cheese in there, Get the rat.
Like a rat trap.
If they're going through the opposite side, you have no idea it's there. It's already too late. The moment you have passed through the threshold of the window, you turned into just.
How pissed would you be? Holy, I would hate that.
I would. Oh, it would make
I don't use rat form on my permadeath guy. He's in like 20k in gear, and I never rat jump through a window ever. Like I'm so afraid to go into rat form.
So just like on the topic of Druid, what we have so far is great, right? Mm-hmm. And we have lots of cool forms. They all work. They all do something unique. What's like a form we want to see in the future? Maybe a speculative form that we want to see added. Penguin?
They mentioned Penguin a while ago. I want to see the belly flop, especially in the ice world.
Would you have the slide? Oh, that'd be cool.
The belly flop, belly slide, Penguin.
Oh, that would be cool. I would love to see like a Boomkin or a Star Chicken. Like spellcasting, a spellcasting form. Personally, the wizard guy wants a spellcasting form. Yeah, of course.
Maybe they'll make it like the tree form druid.
Yeah, for the healing, like tree form for druid would be really cool.
How about a spider form? Then you can spit like the paralytic poison, like the
this guy just wants more silences, bro. That's all he wants.
But it's melee
silence. Pacify instead.
The pacify and a silence. It does both. It's
You gotta charge it up, and then you spit like one little. And if you hit a teammate, like you probably just killed your teammate. If you hit the enemy barb,
you can grapple onto the ceiling and just wait there for
grappling
people.
hook. Yeah,
burrow. I don't know.
Ooh, burrow.
We got options.
A burrow would be kind of cool. Wait a minute, like a mole form where you use burrow, you sit underground. It'd be like stealth, but like that's an awful idea. But the more I thought about
now
that,
you have landmine druid.
Yeah, landmine druid.
So I want to circle back to the discussion around normals. Excuse me. We all agree that we like, and I'm with you guys. I didn't think I was going to like the separation, the 25 gear score and under and above. Didn't think I was going to like it. I think it actually works great. But now that we have it, my motivation to go HR is at an all-time low.
Yeah. So
I'm going to poll the audience here. What, if you had to guess, what percentage of the games are you playing normal versus HR? For me, it's like 90-10 normal to HR ratio.
Yeah, I'm like 60-40. Like I do play still a decent amount of HR, but certain hours of the day the lobbies just don't fill, so I stop type thing. Just to add to talk on the normal queue though, I love it. I actually really do like it. I think the problem isn't the normal queue. I think the problem is the HR entrance fee. It's like, why would you want to pay 100 gold to go into a less fun lobby that's not
early in the wipe? Yeah, later in the wipe, it's not a big deal, right? But the first week, like 100 gold means a lot. So
yeah, that's the main problem. I think it's not a problem with normals; it's more just like a problem with the entrance fee. I think if you didn't have an entrance fee in HR, people would just be willing to risk fighting the harder mobs. But as is right now, normals are so profitable. Agreed. Like I've been playing normal Goblin Caves. I go kill a boss, I hit the pile, I get out with 300 to 400 gold almost every raid plus gold ore. It's just like, why would I go HR?
Right.
The fights are good too.
I'm so based. The way that you're describing normals to me makes it sound like the HR fee should be not even a minor inconvenience. You're saying you're playing like 700 to 1,000 gold from norms.
Yeah, because we're veteran players. We get out of raid. A lot of people just don't get out of raid ever.
Right. Yes. And so right now, because we have like, let's just say on any given day, 35 to like 100,000 new-ish players coming in, they're still in those first stages of learning. So we actually have that place to separate us from them, so we're not ruining their play experience. Because if all of us wore juiced gear and we all went into normals, we would ruin their experience, right?
That's happening. That's happening.
I think there's a percentage of people that are doing that, but I think a lot of us are helping them, VoIPing with them, or just going to HR now. Like I went there for like a day, and I got one geared fight out of like 10 lobbies, and now I don't go to normals anymore unless I'm like playing with friends or like it's a cool spot. But I think as the wipe progresses, especially when the season starts, a lot of those players are going to drift into HR. They're going to start getting confident. They're watching their streamers, their videos. They're getting more skilled. And so I just think right now we have to like sort of deal with this and enjoy it and let it like linger and do its thing. But as soon as the season starts, like next week, and people have more money and more people buy Legendary Edition and they can buy and sell things in the marketplace.
I just don't know what it adds. I just like, what does an entrance fee do for the game? What does it? What's the benefit?
Well,
it's another gold dump. But
you go to normal and you make 700 to 1,000. But if I go to HR on a good run, I can make like 3 to 10,000. So like the incentive is there. It's just right now the HR lobbies aren't filling, so it feels not that great to go there, especially at certain hours. They're like, if I get 2 empty lobbies, I'm like, I'm just gonna go to normals. Like, I don't want to farm alone. But for the newer players, if they get those empty HR lobbies, they get to experience HR. They're not getting spawn rush. They're probably getting shit on. But
like, they get bored and don't play it again.
At some point,
well,
I don't know.
First off, I think that this is all kind of null because we don't have a seasonal rewards, or ranking system, all of the things that drive a lot of players to HR. And we have a lot of things additionally as a result of not just the early start of the wipe, but the extra incentive normal modes now exist. So we basically have a whole lot of carrot on the side of normals and a bunch of stick on the side of HR. But we can't really judge it because we don't have the carrot for the HR out yet. We don't have the systems that are going to make us go, ooh, tee-hee, or, fuck this ranking grind. It's dog shit. I'm quitting. I never want to touch it again. We don't know what it's going to be. And so it's kind of like we're judging it on less than half the equation. We don't have all that stuff. But I do agree the fee is it's negligible. I really don't. It doesn't even impact me in the
negligible
slightest.
To me, negligible to most of us, but to your average adventurer, it's a pretty big tax.
And they also, the problem is that, like we're saying, out of loot, we know what's valuable. We know what items to pick up. We know what items to drop. We don't know, like those players are like, they're looting 4 blue items that they're going to vendor, and they're barely going to break 120 gold. They're and that's assuming they survived.
But, I've suggested this before. I think like there should just be a way for a person who plays normals casually or even hardcore normals to like earn a free HR ticket. Like I said before, I think if you extract in a normal, you should get an HR key fragment, and then if you get 3 fragments, you can get an HR key, and that's like a free entrance to an HR lobby where you don't have to pay 100 gold. And I think that would be cool. So if someone who's just grinding normals, who's like a newer player, an average player, he gets out of normals 3 times in a day, is, oh shit, I have a HR token. You get the boys together, let's go try an HR out. Sure, they'll probably get stomped, but like they didn't pay a fee, they worked hard for it, it feels rewarding. I think
could just be like a daily,
or it could be daily free one too.
Entry, like 7 entries a week or 1 entry a day to make sure people don't have to worry about constantly logging in to get that. But yeah, I see. I like that idea, but it's like when they did the normal, when they added free to play, it wasn't like Iron Mace set out to make a large profit. Like they're going to make a bunch of cash off of free to play. That was something they did to like grow their game. I feel like that was what they're working on when they did the change to normals, where they were like, okay, so now normals, you can bring in gear. That's again, more of their stuff that they're working on, that in the long run, they're giving stuff to the free to plays and they're not generating any revenue from it. So like, I feel like they could do more stuff in the side of getting something back for the amount of stuff that they have given out. If that makes sense. I just feel like they have done a lot that promotes, like it helps us out by getting the free to play players in the door. It helps us out by giving them the normal mode gear to take in so that we can slaughter them like little calves and take all their goodies. Like that stuff helps us, but we got to kind of like help it back. Maybe. I don't know, man. It's something to look at. I was just thinking like to give that, if they give 1 HR ticket to every single Timmy, that's a lot. You know, like that's a lot of fucking people going straight into HR.
I like the idea of them earning. That's why I don't like the giving to them for free, just for logging in. I think if you extract from a normals X amount, like, it could be one time, 2 times, 3 times, whatever number you want it to be, and then you earn it. Like, and the sense of earning that is good for the player. Like, wow, I worked hard in the normals. I've got a pretty good win rate, and now I've earned the right to go try an HR out and try the harder game mode against harder mobs and more experienced players. And sure, I'm nervous, but like I get a free roll, so I'm going to use it, and it's earned. So I mean,
you can even go in naked. You never know
if you want to.
Like I hear that, but if they just survive 3 in a row, they have 100 gold to go to HR. Like it's basically
they
the
can't.
Same.
We're talking more on the free to plays getting in, less about the fee. Yeah, like getting free to play players access.
Nah, I don't even think so. Honestly, I think the incentive is already there when they watch us get artifacts and that they see it. Because right now, if you give them
it shows the lobbies are filling, dude.
They're gonna go get but in the long run, right? This is kind of based as well, but like we just brought in 30,000 players and they're fucking dying in droves. Next wipe, a lot of those players will have transitioned to legendary and they will be more willing to go to HR early to stack bank and boss and all that other stuff. Like they're not even surviving normals yet. So like it's so hard to be like, look, we need them in HR to fill HR lobbies. I really feel like when the season starts, HR is going to be bumping again. Like the population right now might be like 99% of people in normals and 1% HR who know what they're doing and they're stacking bank. But when the season starts and they see like, oh, here's the season rewards, I have to buy the game so I can go to HR so I can get these skins and like whatever. I think the lobbies will fill. Plus, all the old hands will come out of norms and they'll start season grinding. I think anyway. I could be wrong.
I hope so, but like we've had this before. We've had like 20 to 30,000 concurrent players with an HR entrance fee months ago, and HR lobbies just wouldn't fill. I'm just speaking on experience. Every time there has been an entrance fee for HR, it has been bad. It has been bad for the HR.
I've had it both ways, man. I've had it where it's been no fee and I've still had empty lobbies, but also, you know, I do tend to play demon hours. And even non-demon hours.
And it's also it's a chain reaction. Strange. Sorry. What do you guys? You're good. What do you guys have against free? Or wait, that's not the right way to ask it. What do you see as the drawbacks of free to play HR?
It's naked rogues basically, but yeah,
it's cheating.
I see like a threefold system. I see cheating, and then I see an infinite amount of naked rogues and now druids, especially when they like figure out the druid tech, because I'm already doing it. Like I love dropping solo goblins. The only reason I'm upset that HR isn't filling is because I can't go into fucking trios as a literal rat, and steal gear. It's all I do, and I'm sure a ton of other people will figure out how to do it too, because you can loot a corpse while in rat form. So like, and then you're guaranteed to get away. Like they're never gonna catch you. You just jump through door windows and you're like long gone. And
wait,
so
what?
Like,
that's a thing? You can loot in rat form?
Yeah.
Well, you start the loot just like you would, and then you can switch into rat form, or how a rogue can invis and still loot, or so it's just you can still use your like Q and E while you're in the loot window. I think it's something that they've been doing for a while. I don't think it's maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Like it's kind of fine, but like the less fine part is the escaping. Like also you can't be like the thing is with the rogue, you mostly have to take a risk to be like a rat rogue, And there's not a lot of risk with Rat Druid. Like, you're so fast and so small, like you just suck up that loot and you're gone. Like, they don't see a person like walking around. You're just like ratting the body, and then you rat through a window, and like then suddenly the corpse is empty.
Well, you have to be a person to start the loot, and then you change to a rat. You can't interact with it until you go person and then go back to rat.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Like, the module is like empty because you're a rat, and like you're watching them fight in rat form. The second someone dies, you just rat over to the corpse. So like, at least the rogue has to like move about the battle. There's like footsteps. There's like things happening, but the rat is just like, oh. Anyway, back to the HR situation. I think it's like cheating. It's just a ton of nakeds to the point where like it's toxic, and it fills up. Like, the thing is, if you have a lobby full of nakeds, it's not that much different than an empty lobby. Like, you're just mowing down nakeds, or they're like griefing you with bosses or something. Like, it might as well just be empty at that point.
I think that's different because they basically become slow roll loot pinatas. The longer they exist, the bigger that bankroll, man. And then eventually you find them, you pop them for all their goodies. Like, it's.
And if I see teammates in HR, I'm usually friendly, but like, I'm always, if I ever see Timbos, I'm always trying to be friendly.
Speaking of friendly, you said earlier, like, we're all going in there, we're helping Timmy's. So bad's out there. I saw a clip of you badgering someone's fucking ankles as a rat for like 30 seconds, cackling while he's screaming for help. You are the problem, so bad.
That was one person, all right. Look, it's different as a rat, dude. I got
and he's chasing him down.
Look, if you die to a rat, all right, there's other issues, okay? I'm not like a geared fucking buff baller. I'm in trios as a rat. If I can bite your little ankles and plague you to death, all right, when I'm I'm one-shottable, all right, dude. That's fun.
That poor little Timmy was just scared. Anyways, it's mostly cheating. It's mostly cheating. That's my biggest concern, because even if you add one ticket, one free-to-play, one account that doesn't have to worry about repercussions, they can do whatever they want, and they can give the information to people that would not have that issue, you know, like they could queue in with their friends and just feed them shit. Same thing in like how Tarkov carries are done. You know, one hacker goes through and fucking spin bots the lobby, and everybody else just scoops up the loot and doesn't get any shit for it.
True.
So it's like they get the opportunity to be the full-on bastard that they want to be, realized for no cost. And yeah, that's my biggest issue, is the cheating. Like, they won't be able to RMT because of the lacking of trade, but maybe they can give it to their friends that they grouped with. You know, it's just it's a problem that's opened up, and I'm not sure that the anti-cheat would be able to withstand the full force of a free-to-play hacker army going off on that. But I don't know. Like, it seems to be doing just fine in normals. I don't see any. I really don't see cheaters. I haven't seen a single suspicious thing this wipe.
They're in HR. They're all in HR.
I've been in HR. I haven't seen them.
Yeah,
they're not where I'm going.
They're in the
trios.
They play trios. Yeah, hackers play trios.
I think they're mostly in trios.
Yeah, that's where the money's at.
I saw a fucking Xerxes get dropped in duos. I thought that was pretty funny. There's actually a Xerxes in play. He went to go bossing, and Solar Bear killed him on the rogue.
That's crazy.
Oh, nice.
Isn't the unique drop rates like really cranked up? Like a lot? Isn't it like
that's what I was hearing?
I thought they were cranked down.
No, I think I cranked up.
No, I heard they got cranked up.
I hear it's like 3% on like HR crit bosses.
Well, if you think about, they removed what they did is they removed every other artifact that is not a named weapon. So the loot pool for artifact rolls immediately. If it rolls an artifact, you're getting a named. That if it's a massive bonus. Yes.
Okay, that is boosted then.
It's an easier way to explain it.
That makes sense.
Also, the data miners found that the frozen key, when you beat the dragon, was giving like 7%. It's the highest right now, or maybe dragon was giving 7%.
I think it was dragon itself on HR.
Either way, like if the frozen key is boosted and dragon is boosted, then that whole area is boosted, and so those that are doing dragons, especially
you are sanctioned to do dragon.
Yeah, especially the sanctioned pre-team.
Speaking of the next thing we could go into, is it time for dragon? Do we get?
We can talk about it, sure.
Arcade, yeah. He's
go for it, man.
Yeah,
go for it.
Oh, I despise the idea of having to wait for 3 other sloppy motherfuckers to come in and open my door so I can fight the boss. I hate it. I really hate it. I don't mind it as much if there was another opportunity. If there was like, oh, go around and clear the modules and you'll disable the beam. But you're telling me I have no opportunity to even go in there and get my shit stomped without dragging somebody else that's not part of my team. I don't. Like, there should be something else. Maybe an item I can buy to take in that will disable some of them. I don't care. But to give me only one option it didn't sit right with me. Now it is cool that you can convince people to come down, and that's cool, but it's, it's, the idea is cool, the concept is great, but it not for me. It's not for me.
I had a guy in chat that he came in and he said, what if like the only reason why it's a 4-man boss is because in the Unreal Asset Store where they purchased the dragon asset, it was just it was a 4-man thing, and they just didn't change it. I was like, holy shit, that would be so funny.
I would be shocked. No, SDF said a long time ago that he wanted to have a big bad boss where it would take more than one team to fight it. That's been part of his vision.
I like that vision. I don't like the part where I need them to summon it.
Yeah. I think you need more systems or features in the game like that actually would allow for alliances to happen, where you could recruit someone to your party. So when you drop into the ice caves, if there is a way like that, you can basically just form an alliance where you could then see whichever squad you joined, you can now see their portrait as if you dropped into the dungeon with them.
Oh,
I know there'd be opportunities for griefing and stealing people's soul hearts and that kind of thing, but maybe you can set it like that. They can certainly program it so that if you're an ally, you don't have the same benefits as your actual squad, right? Like allies can't grab your soul heart, but something that allows that to happen.
I just really hate that. Like the only way that you could do this boss feasibly is a form of pre-teaming.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's crazy.
Not really pre-teaming, but you know what I mean. Pre-teaming assumes allowed. That it's outside of the lobby.
Yeah, but
I know that they said that yes, you can do it, and I know it's like special circumstance. So I'm going to say that that's like that's like diplomatic immunity. I won't argue on that point because they are already fine. They've said it's okay. But the other part where it's like,
but there's no way to prove if you're pre-teaming or not. There's no way. There's no way to prove it if they're organic or not. Like, there's,
well, you know what I'm saying.
We stream,
they said
so
it's okay.
Yeah, but like, so say for instance, they didn't say it was okay, and like pre-teaming was still equally enforced, right? And us as streamers,
we would definitely
we can't do it, but there are definitely people who just don't stream, who just like have their own Discord that are obviously going to pre-team and go kill the boss and get an unfair advantage, and like
so that's why they opened it. I imagine that's why they said, all right, go fucking do it, but don't go PvPing.
To continue the thought is like, okay, now that it's allowed, now we can go in as a 6-man and go kill the boss. But like, we're not the only people in that lobby. There's other people who just queued for Ice Caves trios, and now they're Foxville. Like, they're never going to stand a chance if we want a 6-man gank them. Like, I'm not saying we will, but there are people that will. So like now just trios. I just don't want to play Ice Caves because I'm like, okay, if I could play Ice Caves and I want to play it seriously, there's just a high chance I'm going to run into 6 to 9 people, and I'm just not playing Ice Caves. I'm sorry. That sucks.
I think
that's like it's such a small thing from the amount of ice caves that I spend all day and all night on fucking ice caves queuing in, whether it's solos, duos, or trios. It's fucking empty no matter what, dude. I got into one lobby, where there was another. It was a YouTuber. It was a YouTuber, some Brad Quaxon or something.
Oh, yeah. I know him. He is who he's like him.
He's a rogue.
Yeah. So he was. That was someone in chat was like, "That sounds like Brad," and I was like, "Huh?" Because I saw a squad battle go down. I mean, prots, door open, W key, massive fight, and I'm just a fucking naked PvE spec cleric. I'm always ratting around, sneaking like, "Oh, who's gonna win? Gonna give me some goodies." I see when I looked the second time after I snuck around, 4 people sitting down. I'm like, those guys were just going at it. Now they're all sitting by the campfire singing Kumbaya. What happened? So I go over there. I'm like, what? You guys were just bloodthirsty. It's like, yeah, we're going to fight the dragon. You want to come with us? We got like a group of 12. I was like,
that's cool. That's cool. It's cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm down to go down there, but it happened once, just to clarify. And yes, it could have been malicious. It could have been some fucking gold farmer or some like former, malicious Discord mods or something that are doing evil things and grouping and causing mayhem. But yeah, like from the experience I had, it was nothing like that, but that doesn't serve to dismiss the fear of it because it's definitely a thing that could easily happen. But if it did happen to me, I'm reporting every single one of them. I'm getting you banned. I'll get you banned immediately. I'll get you banned so fucking hard.
I'd rather they have a system in place where a 3-man team or whatever could at least attempt the boss. And like, what is gatekeeping them would be the difficulty of the boss. But like at least as a 3-man, you could try your best, and maybe if you're really good, really geared, and try really hard, maybe you can kill the boss with like a low percent win rate, or be a warlock. But you could at least attempt it. But it would be encouraged for you to find people in the dungeon to play with organically and like help your odds out. That's probably a better system. It also, if they want it to be more than 3 people to start the boss, I have suggested that every time that it goes to trio ice caves, it's just quadro ice caves instead, or penta ice caves, whatever it is, but only on the trio rotation for ice caves. So you can queue in your team with more than 3 people to do the boss, just so you don't have to queue snipe each other. There's also problems where like people were trying to queue snipe each other now that it's allowed, and they just can't get into the same lobby even. Right. But they just get into four empty lobbies, and like what the fuck's going on? I don't know. Yeah, it's a mess. But yeah.
Yep, and that's going to get
the
harder.
idea is cool.
The queue sniping's going to be a thing of the past here if they're able to keep to their plan, which SDF and Terry talked about on the Darkest Hour. Just that was last night, right? Or was it Tuesday? I'm getting my days mixed up.
I think it's Tuesday, but yeah.
It must have been Tuesday night. Yeah, it had to be Tuesday night. So SDF said they this year are going to do away with the base camp, and they're going to have the League of Legends style matchmaking. And you're just going to be dropping into the raid directly from the lobby. So the whole queue sniping thing, you're not gonna know while you're in the base camp. That's for sure. You're gonna. I mean, you can obviously still try it, but I think there's it's going to get more. Yeah, it's going to get more difficult. And I know there are a lot of people are going to be really, really happy, myself included, to see the base camp go away. I think that's probably one of the main reasons that Katie's not playing this wipe at least as much as she had in the past. Maybe there's other reasons too, but I know that was a massive disappointment for her. Yeah, I won't miss it. They'll turn auto into something cool within the game. So auto is the only part that I'll miss.
I love the social aspect of the tavern, of the base camp back when there was VoIP, but like they've already gotten rid of the VoIP. It's basically it's just an extra step to get into game. Yeah. We needed just a regular queue system for a very long time. I'm glad they're working on it. My only concern is that if you're going to have that kind of a system, you have to make it so you only get into game once not your lobby, but your queue is full. Like in League of Legends, you only get to hit the accept button once you have 10 players that are ready to play, and like they should do that with all their lobbies. Like 28 players ready, get in there.
The other one is that I don't know if it was you that talked about it, because maybe they want to do something that does keep them separated and unique. And option B would be to keep the lobby, but to make it, I think it was someone was mentioning, it might have been you, Ken, the Naraka style lobby where everyone is on a single island. All right, everyone is in a single like US East tavern, for example. We restore VoIP, give everybody VoIP back, and just put people in there. You've got all your training dummies. You can test damage, see whatever you want to do. But then when it pulls people into a lobby, it just pulls X players from that pool and puts them into the lobby. So there's no, you don't know who's going to be in your lobby. There's just a bunch of people running around, no inspect, VoIPing, just doing dumb shit. And then, boom, you get snapped into a lobby.
Well, that's kind of what they're talking about doing with the Gathering Hall, right? They're trying to make the Gathering Hall like this social pub area.
An actual in-game thing, right?
Yeah. And if you could queue for the lobby, queue for a game while you're in that Gathering Hall, I mean, that's basically what it would be. So maybe that's where they're going. I think that would be really cool. I think the social aspect of this game is one of the really cool things that they have going for them, and we've kind of gotten away from that to some extent. Like obviously there's still VoIP in game and stuff, but like the pre-game VoIPing was always kind of fun and silly. I think we all miss it, right? We all miss pre-game VoIP minus the gamer words.
Yep.
Yeah. Minus 35.
Minus 35. Yeah. Get them out of there.
Yeah.
Well, we had some on the fucking first day of wipe too. That was messed up.
We talked about how to activate the dragon and what it takes to fight it. What do you think of the dragon fight itself? How do you feel about the boss, the design, difficulty?
Rewards, I haven't done it,
etc.
I've watched videos though. It looks really cool.
I'm a cleric. It sucks. I have to go back to heal botting because he moves so fast that I'll get maybe 3 melee swings in and then he's across the map doing something I have no involvement in. So and I'm too slow. And if I do actually try to chase him down, he's going to reposition and then send me into the abyss. So as a cleric, it sucks. Mechanically, it's cool. It has exactly what I wrote down in my head I was expecting the Frost Dragon to have. I was like, okay, so he's going to create ice blocks. You're going to need to use those ice blocks to either fall off from the ledge or to line of sight some kind of crazy breath. Like, that was all the basic Frost Dragon stuff. He's going to have a tail whip. He'll probably fly and shoot ice balls. Wow. Pretty much I built that boss.
Nailed it.
You can thank me for that boss. Yeah. But, like, he does it all really fast. Yeah, it is. Well, what was it? I think Grayson was like, yeah, if we made it undead, it would have looked too much like Cinder Gosa. I was like, yeah, that's when I was saying it makes me feel very Ice Crown when I'm down there.
That might just be one of the best bosses in any game ever, though. So that's a good inspiration to pull from.
Which Cinder Gosa? Wasn't there only? Oh no, that was only the Lich King one. Yeah.
No, the one in Extramas.
Okay, because there was also that was the other one because there was two, wasn't there? There was the one before. Yes, there's the one before Kel'Thuzad, and there's the other Frost Drake before Arthas.
Yeah, I'm thinking the one before Kel'Thuzad. That's the one I fucking love. But yeah, they're both very good.
But yeah, those are like the idea of getting behind it. That's a cool mechanic. The positioning on him, I feel like should be more static because I think he can shoot the little globs near the edge of the arena, which means you have nowhere to hide when he decides to send you to hell. So it's kind of like, I think that the RNG of where he shoots his little frost balls down is it can be frustrating. And then he'll smash them if they happen to be in a really good spot. But yeah, it seems it's an okay boss fight. I give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
I like the stakes, right? In HR Crypts, if you die to a boss, if one person dies, you can always reset the boss and maybe recover a kit or go for a revive. But the fact that if you just get knocked off the ledge, your gear is gone. There is
the goblin exists.
You get some of your gear, most of your gear is gone, and that goblin
incredibly overpriced pieces.
Yeah, that goblin is going to fucking rinse you for your Bardiche, bro. Oh man, but I think it's crazy that that you could just lose everything with a tail swipe. I think there's super high risk. I love it when the game has high risk and high reward. So I think that's cool. It's gonna be very frustrating. You're really gonna if you're geared, you really have to think, should we attempt this boss? Are we capable of doing this? Because we're putting a lot on the line here, and we are not going to get it back if we lose. So that's cool.
Totally agree.
I have found that everybody's very receptive to doing that. They're like, "Oh fuck yeah, dude! I want to go to the dragon." Yeah. God, dude.
Because you're all wearing pits. It's different. But once people start wearing good gear and trying to do it, it's totally different. Because the risk to reward ratio goes up and down.
I also think it's a really cool boss, and I agree with almost everything you guys have said. My only thought with this 4-player thing is that you're not going to have a lot of organic fighting down there like you do in Inferno, because people are going in pre-teaming even after whatever changes are coming. You have to find a fourth, so people are going to try to find another 3-man, either organically or not, and then any other squad that's going down there that maybe doesn't find one at that point. I don't know. I guess maybe they try to 3v4 them while they're dragon fighting, and then they have the upper hand. But it seems
then all your loot gets knocked into the pit.
It's a good point though. Some of the biggest highlights in this game are having crazy fights in hell after a boss or something, crazy third party a boss, and you just probably won't have that with the Ice Dragon. You probably won't get sick fights in Ice Abyss, very few and far between, and that is kind of sad.
Maybe people still have to learn Ice Abyss and it's too soon. I will say that we went down there with 6 and End Boss was rezzing me, and a random rogue came up and cut his throat and killed him.
That fucking
and so we actually had 5 of our 6 die, and then our 6 went and killed one of the Barbarian on their squad, and then the other 2 rogues killed him.
I think I hear footsteps.
Of the 9 players, 7 died, and none of the loot got taken, and 2 fell in the void. So that part is really cool. But as far as the boss goes, I don't think it should be this 4-man thing. It's really fun right now to try to get 6 people together. Most people can't do that, and I agree that there should be a blood key. Maybe every other boss has a 4% chance to drop a blood key, and then if you buy a blood key on the marketplace, you only need 3 players to start the fight. I think that would be way better.
Remember, we always talked about this idea with the souls. What if you are able to collect souls of players in the match?
Yes.
What if you kill? If you kill 3 players, you could take their souls and use it to summon the dragon. That could be really cool.
Right.
Just anything, literally fucking anything, please. I just want to be able to fight the dragon. I saw the harpy interrupted the beam, but there's only 2 harpies that are in that area. You'd have to pull 3 harpies and have them in a magical. Like, there's no fucking way.
You'd have to get solo. Yeah.
No.
Side note, fuck those harpies. I hate those.
Oh, they're easy. They're very easy to kill.
I don't care. Not for a wizard. All right.
Listen,
seven magic missiles. 7 magic missiles, and they knocked me off a cliff. It's just I can't stand it. They're hot though. They do look good.
They are hard. Yeah, harpy mommy. Yeah.
Especially the redhead one.
Good
job dying to them.
Yeah. Yes. Oh no. Oh, don't claw me again. Oh, that would be awful. Yeah, I guess the mob design down there was pretty good. How about
really
that?
Speaking so refreshing.
Dragons.
Just the sheer amount of mobs in like that tight space.
The diversity.
Spiders drop. Yeah, like that was a really good map. I almost wish that we didn't have to go through Ice Cavern to get there, or whatever it's called, Frost Mountain. I kind of
maybe you could jump in the abyss earlier.
3 arena, yeah, or like something.
Well, it seems like their mob and AI development has come a long way with like their animations and like their design on AI to the point where now
the Felling Axe guys.
Fuck that guy. But some of the older dungeons feel almost a little dated now because after playing Ice Abyss and like thinking of all this cool mob diversity and these spellcasters and they have all these cool animations, I'm like, man, I kind of wish. Kind of wish. Kind of don't
could
wish.
Get a little bit of a, maybe a little something instead of his little bubble and a fireball. Ooh.
Yeah, the imp teleporting around. That's so cool. Oh my god,
cool.
He also does a AoE smash. If you haven't seen it, if you get too close, he'll like smash the ground and huck a fucking auto attack.
He puts the bombs on the ground. You have the obelisk on the wall that you could fight that will like shoot orbs at you.
That's cool.
That sucks. Those things suck.
They're annoying, but it's cool. You know what I mean? It's very cool. And I wish there was more of that in like the other.
Maybe we could see that. We could see them, maybe bringing the Frost Sentinel over. Obviously, they took a lot of inspiration from the other maps when they made the Ice Hound, which is clearly just fucking steroid-ridden goddamn demon hounds or super wolves. Those things are horrible, by the way. They are. They're the worst part of that place, I think, so far. The frost demons, everything sucks, but those little wolves, the ice wolves, are the worst thing down there.
I call the Axis Super Thanos, so I get it.
They're pretty easy to dodge. Everything in there so far, I probably have, not to brag or anything, but I probably have some of the most time spent in the Ice Abyss out of the entire goddamn community. And everything down there is pretty, once you get used to it, it's all back in the same, dance, okay, dodge, easy, back, we're good. But those fucking dogs, those ice hounds are just, they have that attack pattern that's just like, all right, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And I've stacked 8 times, I'm debuffed, and I'm dead. That's the thing that scares me. Nothing else down there frightens me anymore. Just those little guys.
I've been down there a couple times. Yeah, PFE is great.
Yeah, PFE is great. It is a godsend for getting through those places because the frost debuff is just, that stacks up so quickly.
I will say the Ice Abyss on Wizard is the worst thing ever.
That's a PvE hell. I would never want to go down there.
Oh my god, it's so rough. But yeah, that's a Wizard problem, not a game problem.
Technically, yeah, there's some stuff that's probably like at least 3 MMs to get rid of.
More than that. I'm down there with 8 and meditate.
Wait a second.
That wouldn't be so bad. I do love it.
I just realized if Wizard is this weak and even like the Wizard mains aren't Wizard maining in solos, maybe this season's strategy is to play a solo Wizard and then you just take like Magic Missile, Ignite, Meditate. What's that thing? Spell Overload or whatever? Like
that's what I've been taking. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just like gig a PvE farm for all your
points. But you're just not you. I hit a Skeleton Champion with 8 full Magic Missile volleys, 8 full volleys.
Oh, the damage
in the head, and he was not dead. It is crazy. And I was decently geared.
Have you tried with? Can't you get up to like 7 or 8 true magic damage?
7. It's just they have the amount of flat damage you can get, and then also nerf your scaling. So like you're just it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
So they're probably gonna get buffed at some point, right? Like maybe a little buff.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. That means I'm having lots of fun on Wizard when I'm fighting players.
Yeah,
even though I'm weak. It's just everything in between, miserable. But it's always been like that. It hasn't changed.
Speaking of, I'm having people are actually engaging me on Cleric. They're actually like, I don't know if it's because they think like it's early wipe or something, and they can.
Cleric feels good, by the way.
Sorry. Yes, it does.
Yeah, it feels good when they engage, but then they turn and run away like they're used to, and I go back to hating myself. But otherwise, yes, Cleric feels good. They get in my face.
You're faster. You are a lot faster. Like you got some of the best.
For sure.
I am a lot faster, yes, because my plate armor did get some significant buffs, but at the same time, people close doors on me, and I don't like it.
Yeah. But I've noticed like if I'm on somebody now as cleric, I'm on them. If I faithfulness, they're not getting away.
Oh yeah, faithfulness is huge for the extra slow. The double stack lets you keep chaining melees. Everybody just keeps running away, even with a morning star out.
Oh wait, what? Did faithfulness get buffed? I didn't realize it had a slow.
Yes, anytime you deal divine. No, the slow was added to it later.
Was it?
It was originally just divine damage, and then they added a 15% slow on divine damage with faithfulness. And
that is good.
For some reason, the smite used to say it deals divine damage, and then they added faithfulness and took away the words divine from smite. But I can 100% confirm that smite is still divine damage. So I don't know if maybe that's going to be changed later, but they definitely removed the wording divine from it.
Okay, now I get it, because I've screeched once when I died. I was like, how did he stay with me, bro? He's in fucking plate swinging a goddamn weapon. And now I get it, so I was slowed. Okay.
Double slows, yes, it's nice.
And then, like,
what do you mean double slow?
Judgment.
Oh, weapon. You get the weapon.
You get the weapon hit slow and this, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, judgment is also a pretty big slow.
Yep.
When it works.
Cleric, I haven't died my cleric in days. It's crazy how strong it is.
Yeah, I've died a lot in PvE, but in PvP, you either engage me and I win, or you leave and I don't chase you because it's a waste of both of our time.
Yeah, they made some other changes. I thought when they changed all of the move speed on pretty much it was all armor across the board, right? Like pretty much every piece of armor got changed. Chest, at the very least. I thought it's gonna be the wipe of the fighter. Fighter's gonna dominate. And then sprint got nerfed from 50 down to 20.
Feels good. Holy shit.
Yeah, about fucking time, man.
Yeah, I think it was appropriate with all of the gear change. If we didn't have the gear changes,
they're still all running
I think yeah, that's the thing. That should tell you something about how bad the other fighter skills are, really. Like, I would love, like, I started my fighter, I ran my cleric first, then I did fighter, I didn't pick up my druid until I was 20 levels into fighter. And almost every raid is like, do I take victory strike this raid instead of sprint? Do I take it? Nope, because that 20 move speed is still better than victory strike at this point. And victory strike got a buff. Like, it gives you, is it 15%? I think 15% of your max health. Yeah. If you get the killing blow. 15%
is really good. I didn't see that. That's a great change.
Yeah, it's a very strong ability.
Taunt plus second wind is actually like a really good spec. It's very slept on. Todd does it a lot. I see a lot of like fighter vets do it. If you want to be just like the bulwark, the unbreakable force, you just take taunt plus second wind. You're not chasing people down, but nobody's getting past you to your team type of thing. And it's a really fun way to play.
How does that affect other players? I know how it impacts mobs, but what does it do against?
Well, it just gives you 10. It just gives you 10% armor and MDR.
Yeah, like for PDR and MDR, so you're just way tankier.
For duration.
Okay.
And it has pretty high uptime. It's like a short cooldown, and the cooldown starts once you hit it. So like you could just have like 40 to 50% uptime on taunt in a fight if you know what you're doing. It's actually really strong.
Also in solos, I've seen a lot of people rocking action surge, and then they try to stay at mid and just crossbow, action surge, like reload crossbow, and they like or adrenaline rush, excuse me, not action surge. They adrenaline rush for the action speed increase, and they're just reloading the crossbow and shooting you, and then they peel away until it comes back. Like it actually is very effective. It's super effective against like Druid.
I do see a lot of fighters using more variety, but still with sprint. I would say sprint is still like the baseline, and then they'll change out second wind for adrenaline rush or victory strike but yeah, I would say fighter, they do some pretty decent stuff with their abilities. I'm just I wonder when Druid's going to get more than just, perk 1 is shapeshifting, perk 2 is your skill 2 is spells, like maybe they're gonna get like some kind of like one form shapeshift, like imagine like instead of having the 5, maybe like the caster form, like you turn into the boomkin, or you get a big damage buff for like shorter cast speed, but you move slower or something.
Sure, that's coming.
That'd be cool.
We're gonna get some sort of global cooldown nerf on switching. When I was talking to Grayson, it sounded like 2 seconds. You said 1 second, Ken, but I feel like 2 seconds is still fine.
2 is fine. Yeah,
they can't do that with bards, right?
What?
Amen.
What do you mean? When you talk about a
global
nerf to
cooldown
switching
into switching animal shapes? So once I become a user, I
yeah,
cannot
like 2 seconds.
something else for 2 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that also makes
you have to
grad
shapeshift
jumping
back
through
to
the
human
window
form.
Right. Human should always be an
scarier.
option instantaneous. I think human should always be instantaneous. Anytime you're going to from animal to human, that should always be instantaneous.
I think you should just go from animal to human to animal to human. You can't go from like rat to bear to, you have to go to the human form, because then that actually fixes the problem they had with the comboing the ability, but you can still jump through the fucking windows.
Mm-hmm. Or another thing they could do, and I hate to say this, but it would probably be effective, is put on like a slow. When you swap into an animal form, you're temporarily slowed by like 10% for like half a second. That way, you can't just like auto giga zoom and run away. Like you take.
I mean, it's not that bad. Like
when you're done with the
spell, when you cast a spell, you're slow. When you shapeshift, you're slow for a short duration.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at the end of rat form, you have like a little slow. Like you could just make that, smaller and then put it on like anytime.
Everything you do in the game has a slow. If you're drinking a potion, you're slowed during it. Swinging a weapon, you're slowed during it. Yeah. That kind of. Yeah.
But at the same time, like it's gonna be fun to see what else is next, because it's already in like a cool spot, and seeing where Warlock went. I don't feel like Bard changed that much over time, but Warlock with like the demon form and like all the spells that it has and its summons and stuff, like Warlock is a great class with a bunch of different specs.
Yeah, Warlock has been my most successful class this season. Do you guys see like the pie chart of like the most played classes and the least played classes?
No, is that out?
No.
Yeah, I mean I can throw in the chat here a little bit.
Did Iron Mace release it?
Yeah. Or I think they did.
Yay.
But yeah, basically Bard and Warlock were the two least played classes. So very few people are playing Bard.
I see a lot of
play Warlock now.
Solo.
Yeah, that's all I see.
Those are both strong solo classes.
It was like Bards and Warlocks were like 7K, and then like fighters were like 25K or something.
Yeah,
which makes sense. But yeah, that's cool. It was interesting to see, because like Bard and Warlock are like some of the strongest classes, and they're just like not being played.
Yep.
I mean, they're high skill cap classes with a lot of APM.
Yeah, Bard is so annoying to play. Bard is so strong, and it's just the least fun thing to play. I don't know how Bard players do it. You guys are doing the Lord's work.
I couldn't. I did it for like half a wipe, and I was like, "This is like for sure one of the strongest 1v1 classes." Like in a Bard situation for Bard.
Yeah, Bard. Yeah.
But then
you were the world's worst Bard. You buffed
solos.
One buff.
Solos.
Oh, okay,
Solo.
okay.
I'm talking solos.
Yeah,
I'm a shitty trios Bard. Okay, I already didn't want to even do my own self-sustaining buffs. This is what we're talking about. This is why people don't play it. Even my buffs that last like 2 to 4 minutes, I'm like, fuck, I gotta do this again. And when you're playing all day, rotating those buffs gets real old. And you guys were like, give me that 6-second buff and that 8-second buff. I'm like, no.
I had to twist your arm to get you to bring Allegro for fucking Warlord.
Yeah, this is true. I agreed all
for this. Warlord. You were like, no, dude, I'd rather have Song of Invisibility. I'm like, are you fucking serious so bad? You can't do this to me. Bring Allegro. And then you used it. The first time you used it, you're like,
this is wrong.
All right, this is amazing.
I understand Buffball now. Yes. It's no wonder why there's always a Bard in trios. Yeah. But Ken is right. Like after half a season, I was like, I don't even want to play it. Like even now, like I never want to play it again, because I just know in my mind I'm like DDRing for half the match.
I don't know, man. That's my fun. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy keeping to the uptime. Like maybe it's just
but you have to play cleric for like 10 hours a day. You have to rest. And then you have to play Bard in short spurts where you're just well rested.
Warlock and Bard, I just never rest. I go crazy, and I have a fucking whole day of extravagant fun and murder.
I agree with Ken here. 90% of the time, you're playing a class that does almost nothing and has 0 buttons to push. You are just left-clicking skeletons.
I have to pay more attention to every goddamn thing going on in every.
Yeah, but your hands, they're not taxed. You're not taxing your carpal tunnel. You know.
I tax my. Well, neither is that with a Bard either. Really, it's just clicking.
Yeah, if you have auto hotkey, maybe, but
that's a lot of clicking.
It's not that much clicking.
It's like 1,000.
I played StarCraft 2.
I play StarCraft 2 too, and
we know what clicking is, man.
But
God damn it!
But it's just like it's like pointless, tedious clicking. That like, why is it there?
It's a buff.
I've never seen a Bard just like fumble the buff mid fight. Like, just get rid of the extra steps. You're just
I watched so bad do many.
But that's so bad.
I'm probably closer to the average player. You actually just made the perfect point of why it exists. Your average player.
Dude, I played the fucking song like 3 times. I shrieked. It didn't shriek. I finished the song. What the fuck, Iron Mace?
Going into veteran feedback, and I'm like, why shriek no worky?
Another tax on the poor. That's all I'm saying. It's crazy.
So we had some other nerfs. I'm imagining that Ken was super excited until he realized that Wizard was still Wizard. But Barbarian Iron Will got nerfed from 100 down to 60.
Yeah,
almost cut in half.
It is huge, but its health pool is fucking massive now. So like,
yeah, they did get the nice bonus from the static buff of everybody's health pool. Definitely gives Barbarian a little bit more of a tickle under the taint than every other class in the game. But
how do we feel about that? The 15 health, I think, feels like
huge.
The TTK.
Everybody
I love it. I've been loving it.
Who doesn't love that
now? Yeah,
win, big W.
Like sure, the Wizard guy hit the hardest with that, but like overall for the game, it's great.
Yeah.
Like my fights have been going for a long time. It's been satisfying. It's been great. It's
movement speed was declared an issue. They looked at it. They did some big remedying changes. They've adjusted. Health and time to kill were big issues, and they looked at it. They made some adjustments. They changed it. They're doing things. They're pushing in the right direction. They're listening to feedback and taking into account, like with the data, how they can approach that. And I think that's huge.
Tons of dubs.
They need to do some more work on it, but like they are definitely taking many steps in the right direction.
On top of the got 2.0. We never got the 2.0 headshot multiplier. We never got
it. Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah, and we got 15 health. Not only were they like, we're gonna go this way. All right, no. We're going this way. Didn't you see us? We were all going this way the whole time with you guys. 2.0 headshots? What is that? We never said that.
Has anyone here been playing Ranger? I know a lot of people in chat have been like saying Ranger is very weak right now, and I've been on the mindset that I think it's actually really good. I agree with you. I just think they just don't fit into like a good comp. And this is trio stock. I don't really play much solos. They're good. I know they're really good in duos, but in trios, it's kind of hard to fit them in a comp, is what it feels like to me. And I don't know. Does anyone here playing Ranger lately?
Not in trio.
I watched Lindstrom, and it still looks really strong to me. Like his jump headshots. Like I feel like it's always been the same. There's varying degrees of its like absolute strength, but if you can land shots, especially headshots, that class is really strong, man, because it's unlimited distance. And like you said, there's probably like some weird stuff with trios and like druid jumps and like I don't know, like mixtures of combat, but traps still one shot pretty much in many respects, and a headshot from a longbow, especially geared, is going to devastate like 4/8 of the classes or whatever.
I was watching Vincent.
Strong to me.
I was watching Vincent playing Ranger, and as far as people to watch play Ranger, if you haven't, you should watch him play, because he's a S+ Superman tier Ranger, and even he's like, it just doesn't feel like I can do as much as if I was just playing my rogue. I can just hop on my rogue, and I can do better than my Ranger would be for solos, for trios, for pretty much any situation. He was more, and he was enjoying the rogue more, and it seemed like he was more effective on the rogue. And even he was like, I just want to play rogue. It's just a better Ranger at this point. So that's what I was watching coming out of that sort of that whole thing. And that, again, I'm not a high enough tier Ranger to say that it's in a bad place or in a really great place, but just from what he's saying and from what I saw, yeah, it's not in the best place it's been. I would say it with the move speed, like taking everybody up a little bit faster, making PDR more effective in the long run. Like, yeah, all of this stuff has hurt Rangers. Like 15 extra health on a class that's not supposed to get hit didn't really benefit a fucking Ranger. Like I'm sitting here, I'm playing infinite arrows at you. Everything else is more tanky, moves faster. Like, yeah, Ranger indirectly got nerfed, I would say. Not like obviously with the weapon damage changes too, but yeah.
Maybe my opinion is always so skewed because I just play every class that's weak to Ranger. I just play like Wizard and Warlock and Cleric. Just people just get beat up by Rangers. So maybe I just have a skewed opinion on it.
Yeah, I think Vincent's biggest when I was talking to him is the biggest thing that he said was the reason he's not is because like no matter how good he plays, like the fighters, when they hit him with crossbow, despite the health increase, like he still hasn't won the trade. Like he has to land like, let's say 4 to 6 arrows, and they only have to land 1 crossbow.
It's really funny. That's how I feel on Wizard.
It's over.
Like when I'm just like playing Wizard, zapping a fighter, and I like the fighter is just a better range class than Wizard sometimes at like a certain range. Like they hit me 2 crossbows, I'm out of the fight. And like that's
you can be do dead that fast. If those are headshots.
Yeah, I'm just dead. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
I guess Cleric.
No, how do we feel about Ranger traps? Have you guys stepped in it? Today I stepped in one at mid gear, and it hit me for like half my life, dude. It did so much true damage, and I was walking forward, and I was in Panther.
So Ooh.
So like the health pool was gone. He hit me once with a spear and I was dead. Like I was already on top of him. Like I'd already hit him. I'm on top of him. He like, regardless, I landed in that trap. Health pool at like half. I don't think you can transform when you're trapped or something. Either way, he hit me once with the spear and I died. I was like, okay, like it still seems like a one shot to me. But like I don't see that many Rangers.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I don't see that many in solo, but I think at the high ends of gear last season, they were like the absolute best, right? With their like plus 11 true damage. Maybe we just haven't seen high end Rangers yet, but trending on the market, bow prices are increasing. So maybe there are more Rangers in duos or something.
Soapy seems to be doing just fine. I've tuned into his stream quite a few times. He's not doing high roller as much just because he's loving the hell out of norms, and he does a lot of variety in his streams, obviously. But yeah, how do we think rogues are feeling right now? So bad, you've been playing any rogue at all? What's the rogue community talking
They
about?
are strong. They're very strong. The 15 health buff means we can go toe to toe with like every other class. The increase to the 10% weak point, so we punch through 40% of armor with weak point, and then 20% with the perk, means 60% of every other class's armor doesn't exist for 3 seconds when we go to melee. I think it is really fucking strong. The double HCBs is like juicing. I think it's fine.
To like go off of that, there's like a really strong oppressive combo right now. Is if you play rogue weak point and you have a Panther Druid on your team, if the rogue weak points any front line, your Panther is two-shotting them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I was playing with the pros and promos, and like these like juicy 65% PDR fighters, 200 HP are just like walking at us, and they get weak pointed and they get hit with a paw twice, 3 times, and they're just dead in a second. And I'm like, holy, that sounds oppressive. It's lethal. It's not easy to do either. You have to coordinate a team, you get the ambush, you get the weak point. Sure. So like I kind of like it. I think it's actually very skill expressive and not super like oppressive, I guess is the word I'll use. But it's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Rogue feels like it's good.
I think Cutthroat is doesn't let you transform into an animal or cast, so it pretty much rails druids. It still rails wizards and warlocks. Like it's probably harder to get off a little bit with like this sort of invisibility factor, but I think Rogue is, in my opinion, in one of the strongest states it's ever been in right now. Like I feel like in middling gear there's a lot in solos, like a lot of them. Like half the lobby is rogues again.
How do you feel about questing during the new wipe now that we have the shared stash?
I'm doing them.
And the quest log.
Ken's doing the quest.
It's crazy.
Quest log, boys. Quest log shared stash. Yes. Yeah, big, huge dubs.
All you need was some minor quality of life, and like idiots like me could figure out the quest. It's crazy.
Hey,
loving it.
Now, can we get that in game though? I still feel like if we could push like tab, is it?
It's coming. I don't know how soon, but
that's coming. That's huge.
I'm pretty sure, I may be making this up, but I'm pretty sure on Darkest Hour that did get brought up. And Terrence said it was just it didn't make the priority list, but I think it's on the board for at least 2024. I don't know if it's going to make it in for next wipe or not, hopefully. But yeah, the QOL stuff, they said, just kind of fell to the bottom of the list, pushing for Steam and Epic, and it really is crazy the amount of stuff they were able to pull off. And shockingly, there was no rollback. There weren't any like true game breaking bugs. Yep, keep fingers crossed.
There was one.
Yeah. The token thing was strong.
Not even that.
Wait, the bottle? The bottle was pre-wipe,
No, not the bottle. So your reward tokens carried over if you didn't use them last season. So some people just had like 50 reward tokens to start the season.
I had 100.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah, living large life.
We'll play it Arcane.
There was a problem where druids could shapeshift into the loot room.
For
the ice dragon and mine the ore.
Oh yeah.
But that's about it.
Did they get the pile?
I don't think they get the pile, but they can hit the ore. So yeah, there's some people to sit on like 100 frost ore just waiting.
You can just say One Peg's name.
I mean, I wasn't thinking him. I know people who've done it.
Oh yeah,
he's one of them. So
he is one of them. I think he's part of the. I think he was one of the publicized it as well.
He was bug testing.
Bug testing, yes.
PSA,
dude, good. Let's go on
bug testing. Thank you.
Yes.
Rat testing.
That's funny.
But yeah, with the shared stash, I've been really loving the hell out of questing. And more importantly for me, it's I don't feel locked into a particular character. Like last season when I started down path of leveling my cleric, is like, okay, now I'm locked in because I have progression here. And if I start playing another character, I'm taking away time from my cleric who could be getting some quests done because I want the squire to be leveled up and I want to get further along. Now
multi-classing and
yeah, well, yeah, there were definitely other issues, but yeah, there like now it just feels great to go in, collect a bunch of crap on any character, and then ferry it over to another one. It's just great. But I do think it's probably going to become an issue that too many people are going to have access to all of their vendors and be able to craft. I know we can't just, lab craft.
There's no benefit to it now. Yeah.
Right. It's still it's RNG, but you're going to have, like, if I have 4, I'm going to have 4 characters that are completely quested out. At least 3, but probably 4. So at that point, I can pick up 4 epics every 30 minutes off of every vendor, right? When they're maxed out. Now, it's going to be a while before that happens.
Yeah, and it's just like not knowing what the stats are is the big thing,
No, he's not talking about crafting. You're talking about just buying.
Vendors,
buying.
The vendors still don't show the gear though. They don't show you what the item stats are going to be.
No, you're not talking about crafting, right? You're talking about actually buying an item. When the vendors are max, they give you
both.
purple.
Both of those things. Yeah. So crafting, that's one thing. Where like if it's a why can't I remember the freaking Grim Smiles? So you can only do one of those per half hour for one character. Well, now I can do 4 per half hour.
Yeah, I don't see that as being anywhere. Like if you have the materials to roll, because they took away the problematic feature of being able to actually cycle through and see what the items rolls were going to be. You have to invest now.
Yeah, you're still risking.
You're risking. So I don't really see a problem with having the 4 characters. Is even with the 4 purple items that you buy, you're going to risk, 180 gold on an item that you might have been able to get actually statted well for 150. Like it usually ends. It seems to balance itself out.
You're saying when you buy a purple padded tunic from the vendor, it will have question marks on it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually insane.
Yes, the same as crafting.
Like
they removed all of that.
Except
I liked it.
Yeah.
I'll do that sometimes for weapons, but that's about it. Like I found that most of the other purchases, like there's select purchases where you might get something of value, but for last wipe, like going off of what I had from last wipe, because I had a lot of characters, it was only just, okay, I got a purple Morningstar. I'm just gonna buy it because it's 180 and it's 200 on the fucking flea market right now.
Were they that much after you got all the discounts? After you get all the affinity, I feel like things got really cheap.
They were pretty expensive.
Books,
they were cheap, dude.
Yeah, like books, cheap. Purple books came all the way down to like 120 or something like that. So it's like every time I had a purple book, it's auto bought.
Yes, and then
I was doing that the wipe before this wipe.
Yeah,
but not with this wipe because I had it all leveled up. It was just the value wasn't there. I guess it depends on what you're looking for.
Weapons are always safe because at the end of the day, you're still going to get like, the base damage for the rarity. Even if you get like 3 off rolls, you're still getting 45 damage Morningstar at worst case scenario. So weapons are always safe.
Yeah. Plus we could see the rolls last wipe. So if we saw like a purple recur for 150
last wipe,
gold,
you couldn't see them.
No, what was it like midway, right after multi-classing or before? Yeah, it's been that way for a while.
I never had any, so I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't. This was the wipe of
just lives
them
in the
changing the gear. Yeah, last wipe was them completely changing it.
I stopped for a long time after multi-classing though, so maybe that was the issue.
Yeah,
I took a huge break. Yeah. Anyway, like these all seem like good changes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and if you want to do the quests on your characters and it just gives more shared stash space, that's good. But at the same time, you're still going to need to take your cleric and go solo troll and do kind of the more tedious stuff. But, but it's just, it's such a massive quality of life change. And it's something that I had been just screeching for since the very inception of the quest system and the looted status. I was like, my life would be easier. I can get the troll pelt on a rogue, but if you want me to go farm that on a fucking cleric for 3 weeks and then finally get it and get ganked at the portal, I will lose my collective shit.
Yep.
So
a little tangent
for everything.
So you brought up Goblin Caves and Trolls. Is Goblin Caves too good? I've been
it's good.
It might be too. Like I've been playing Goblin Caves on cooldown, and that should be a red flag. That should be a red flag that there is too much money.
Okay, I
You're
will
bossing
say,
though. You're bossing, right?
No, yes, but I will say that the gold ore is too much.
You're both bossing.
The gold ore is definitely too fucking much because there's a shitload in there, and even now without a use, it's already selling for 250 a stack. That part is too much. Like you're guaranteeing, like you already have 10 pulls and 2 marvelous and a lion's head and 2 guaranteed like purple to legendaries.
It would be nicer to disperse
and the gold
it.
ore. Like that shit is too much, dude. You're right.
Plus both the boss drops.
Plus both boss drops. Yeah.
It does seem kind of weird that they're gating it.
What do you mean?
No, I thought there was ruby, silver, and Inferno now.
Yeah, is there no gold?
Gold is only Goblin.
Yeah, I've only found ruby, silver, and ruby. So I don't even think I found cobalt and Inferno.
I really wish some ore in the boss room, so like you kill the boss and you get some. It could be gold, it could be ruby, silver, just something.
You could put it in the middle of the room so that you have to kill the boss, like, or you can just have somebody kite it if you really want to just mine the ore for some psychotic reason, you know. But
it could just be in the loot room too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It does seem weird that they're. I don't like to use the word gatekeeping the ore, but in fact they are gatekeeping the ore behind the bosses. Like that's unusual because normally it was like I understood the gatekeeping behind like a portal layer of going down, like an investment to the level. Now it just feels weird. Maybe we have a different use for gold coming up that we're going to completely blow our minds out by seeing, and it's going to be amazing. But right now it just seems weird that they've changed the way you acquire those materials, but they're not going to change the actual like usage case for them.
It has been really fun, like meeting Timmy's and normals, showing him the bosses, killing the bosses for him, and then showing him the loot room. Like, wow, this is so cool. You have to kill both bosses.
I didn't know you could do that, dude. Are you kidding me? Where are you right now?
And if you kill both bosses, you can open up this hallway and there's gold. This is so cool. And like just hearing him say that is great. It's a really cool system.
Or you could chase them down as a rat named So Bad, knot their ankles while they plead for life.
Sometimes violence, sometimes friendliness.
Mostly violence.
This is the way of the dungeon.
Well, what do you fucking Two-Face, bro? You flipping a coin?
I am flipping my coin, so yes, I actually do feel like Two-Face now. Also, one of the most effed up things I've been doing is if it's like, sometimes friendly, sometimes knighting, like showing the Timmys how to boss, whatever. Sometimes I make them play rock, paper, scissors with me, and if I beat them, I take their life.
That's fair.
But you probably don't tell them you're going to take their life, do you? You're like, come play rock, paper, scissors.
They're not going to have that emote, though. How are you doing that? The Timmys aren't going to have
that.
That's true.
That's true. You're just
not the most Timmys. It's just the...
He's like, I just need a reason to kill them.
He's like, scissors beats nothing, idiots.
Maybe the Timmys do have it, dude. Maybe the little free-to-plays are like, you know what? I'm playing for free. I might as well buy 5 redstone shards and get to rock, paper, scissors.
But I got paper. I beat your rock. This isn't a rock. This is a fist. And then you just start punching them.
Yes. Paw at their little ankles.
It has been so nice getting into lobbies where not every single person has the demigod cape on. Like you're looking around going, okay, we got a mix of people in here. Some of these brand spanking new. Some of these guys are probably kind of mid from, I don't know, last wipe maybe. But just knowing that every single fight is not going to be a sweat fest feels great. Like I don't want to be Timmy stomping, but man, it is nice to know that I'm not always going up against demigods.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag for sure.
So it's like a side tangent on the Timmy topic. They have to make the VoIP enabled by default.
Yes, for the love of fuck. I run at them with my hands up screaming, I will protect you. And then they run and train mobs and hide in the corner screeching and then
attack you or something.
Yeah. I've not killed them. But my God, the amount of Timmys that go fleeing in terror. Like I do the crouch, I do the hands up, I do the spam. I even like run back and forth. I start casting a heal and they look at me and they're like,
yeah,
they're 3 rooms over. They're training fucking skeleton champions everywhere. I feel so bad, man. Like the terror they feel. Those poor, let me help you. Enable VoIP by default.
No brainer. So just want to add that.
If you guys haven't done it yet, though, it is really, really fun to chase somebody in rat form. Because
have you tried Timmy Stew?
You are so close to the ground. You have to actually like watch their left and right feet and try to like get in line with it so you can like get a little ankle swipe. It's really, really cool.
It's prepping us for scavving. So when we get Spiffer mummies, we'll be able to like pincer their.
Oh my god, dude!
Mm-hmm. It's happening.
Scavving is a spider.
You've seen that in the dev Q&A. They said that they really are trying to make it so we'll be able to drop in as a monster
just sounds,
with like monster abilities.
Yeah,
that makes me so unhappy.
Think
like it sounds
stamps,
cool.
There'll be a bunch of little, like fucking red goblins running around the caves, like a little stack of 3 Ken Nobby little red goblins. It sounds
like cold fusion. It sounds like a really great idea that's never going to work. All right, that's what it is. It sounds like a great idea that they're just going to be throwing away a lot of time into, which again could be the coolest thing ever. I just feel like there's no way to make it feasible. Like it's a cool concept, and I think it'd be great to just spawn in and take over. I don't care. But the like player behaviors versus an AI behavior is so drastic. It's like how Tarkov had to deal with people figuring out that scavs were not players. Like they started to enact like, oh, okay, you know, I heard this guy sprint, turn. It's got to be a scav. Oh, I heard this guy sprint, turn in voice line. I know it's a scav. Oh, well, this guy didn't jump. I know I know it's a scav. So they started giving them all of those things to make sure that the players couldn't identify if it was either a person or an NPC. They kept giving them more and more human behaviors as a result. Mm-hmm. So like, I feel like that'd be great. I feel like what are you going to do in that situation? Like you expect the crossbowman to walk up and standardly shoot his shot and you duck it. Now he just fucking beanbags you when you crouch, shoots you right in the forehead. Like
it's going to be so good.
I know.
Or it VoIPs you and says like, get fucked. Like there's just so many silly situations where you're like,
miserable.
This doesn't, it just,
especially
I would
when the
love
modules
it to
are
be
randomized, right? You walk into a randomized module and you just scan. You're like, which of these is a player?
Yeah, Oh, the Wraith is coming after me. Oh, it's not. It's actually going after the Bard. Oh, nope, it's after my Druid. What? It's VoIPing.
Yeah, let's just hope that's really low on the priority list. I hope,
I feel like it is in execution. And if you tell me about it, let's do it. That's going to be so cool. And then it comes out and I'm like, I'm going to use the shit out of this and everyone's going to hate me for it.
Yep. And that's so bad. It's demographic right there.
That is, yeah.
All right, I hope we can be rats. A whole pack of rats. Good.
No, you're good. You actually just reminded me. I haven't looked it up yet, but how many cockfighting videos have been released at this point?
Somebody said to ask One Peg about the cockfight Sunday. There's some kind of cockfight going on. He's apparently involved in.
Yeah, I guess. What about a winning game though?
No, I wasn't. Shit.
Oops.
Yeah, I guess there's something going on, but yeah, there's a couple. I want to see some cockfights. All right, some good, healthy, clean cockfights.
That's what
the tournament. Yeah, the rat tournament.
Yeah,
rat ones. Holy shits.
The rat jousting would be epic, but I think the cockfight is better because you can actually take a couple blows and get away and heal. So like, it's a little bit more active.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Those rat fights are over fucking quick, dude. It's like 2 swipes and you're dead.
Maybe just 1 swipe.
Yeah, probably on a headshot.
With a dot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're spec'd for it. I think it actually does get boosted by magic damage. It increases the plague damage. So like you probably could make some ridiculous plague rat build.
I'm sure you'll figure out a way.
I'll go in all legendaries and I just chase Timmy's down.
If
you haven't seen the clip, it actually is really great. The dude's literally screaming and void for help. He says, "Please, he's trying to murder me."
Yes, and he's just literally so bad is just screeching with joy like a kid in the candy shop. It's his fucking birthday, and mom says, "Pick out whatever you want," and he's like,
"Oh, it's good."
All right, boys, we should probably move on to Q&A here. We're about 100 minutes in.
Okay.
Chat.
Sorry.
You guys, give us the questions.
Hit us with some
What are we thinking?
Lots of dubs and lots more dubs on the way, I think.
Sure, I missed a lot here.
We hope we getting a hotfix tomorrow, right?
Perhaps.
Yeah. We got quests without a hotfix or anything. That
was interesting.
Yeah.
That was
They're automated now.
I liked it.
Delivery.
But also, they don't expect us to believe that was what we get, right? We're getting a hotfix.
Yeah, there it is. They said we're getting a hotfix.
Yeah, like some serious wizard buff or
Q&A.
Oh,
we got new quests.
Very serious.
Week 1 or week 2 quests, I guess now are available.
I like that. I wish they would have like let us know. They would have like had an announcement or something, but
yeah, all of a sudden I literally looked and I'm like, exclamation point, exclamation point, oh. I've got quests.
Like,
Yeah.
That's cool.
That. Very cool.
All right, let's go 4-man the dragon while we wait for Q&A.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
Yeah,
I will not partake, bro. I will not partake.
All right, you guys queue at the same time we queue accidentally, and then we will go to the dragon as a squad.
Listen, I'm not going to partake, but you guys can stream snipe me if you want. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh.
Yeah.
As long as my hands are clean.
You're right. You'll announce when you're going to drop and what region because you're a friendly guy.
I mean, I always play East, and I'm always live. So, you know, just do your due diligence. Trust me, these dirty rats, they know how to snipe me. That's not hard.
This son of a bitch.
I don't have a map cover. I don't cover my region. I'm like the worst.
Yeah, I'm not covering anything at this point.
I don't cover anything, but I try not to use good gear. When I play permadeath, I for sure go into a delay though. It's too much work, man. I played that guy for 6 hours. If I get sniped, I'm gonna cry.
Permadeath makes sense. That makes sense. Because like there's way more at stake than just your gear, your time. Not that I value your time at all, but you know, I'm sure you do.
So Chai in the chat over here is asking about weapon attacks and also lowering damage of the rapier specifically and adding something like armor pen to it to compensate. And that was a topic of discussion, armor pen versus true and additional damage last time we talked, I believe. With this latest major patch, aka the wipe, we've seen true damage go down to only rolling 1. Everybody feel good about that?
I like it. I mean,
yeah,
everyone's still building it. If you could nerf a stat by 50% and it's still mandatory, it was broken to begin with. So I think it's in a good spot. Definitely better. I still think true damage. I still think true doesn't belong in the game. I think true damage is just not a good stat for any game. I think
you guys feel like the stonks on armor pen are up at all?
If they're not now, they're gonna be. I think people might be sleeping on it. I think armor pen is the move. I know I'm snacking up all the magic pen spell books I could find that are decently rolled because that's gonna be the way.
Yeah, I said that last wipe. Armor pen is essentially damage, and I think it actually outweighs a lot of the other damage stats. Even on my Druid, I'm just like I'm stacking strength and then armor pen and then PDR. Like you can go so tanky now with what I consider to be like off rolls or off meta. Because if you look right now, all the jewelry with like add damage is already like very expensive. But then you can find something for half price and it has like 3 out of 3 actually good rolls. So you can sort of skip over that. On the faster classes, that add damage probably is really important, right? Like a rogue, like he's saying with Rapier. But on like your two-handed classes or your druid with the spear, you don't really want that. Like it's not adding very much damage if you're only attacking with a spear like every like couple seconds.
Right.
It's nice that it's now a choice, right? Before, like, it was okay, mandatory true fizz, mandatory true magic. Now it's like, I mean, I can get the true magic or the true fizz or the flat magic or the flat fizz and that'll be good, or I can get like 2 fizz power and some health.
Your build isn't fucked if you don't have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas before, you weren't playing if you didn't have it.
Yeah, that's good. The power level and stat should always be close enough to the point where you have to think about it and make a decision, not just one is mandatory. Oh, there's all attributes on this. I have to have all attributes because it's the best. Oh, 2 true magic, have to have that because it's just the best. But now it's like, now I can choose between 3 magic power or 1 flat magic or 3 health. That's a real choice. And, there's build diversity on top of that. It's great. More of that stuff.
Totally agree. I've seen a couple of people ask about season rewards. I believe Terrence said on the Darkest Hour their goal is to get them out this week. So since we did not see a hot fix today, for those of you guys that are kind of new to the game and the community, number 1, welcome. Number 2, historically, Iron Mace has liked to do their hot fixes and patching on Thursdays. Although it may be a new paradigm, maybe Friday is the new day because we got the wipe last Friday, so maybe for the foreseeable future we're going to see updates on Fridays. But I'm hopeful that we'll see rewards tomorrow. Hopeful, not guaranteed.
Yeah,
hopeful.
I agree with that. I think if the wipe's Friday, then hotfix is probably Friday. Plus, it's Korea, you know, so it's like already Friday there and Thursday for us. Like, it could be this morning. Like, it could be like a 2 a.m. thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be a bug, right? Not having the rewards, right? It's a bug. There's no like reason why they would delay the reward release. There's no like, it's literally every wipe we've logged in and collected our seasonal, you know, our previous rewards.
It might be intended, right? Because it was kind of strong just starting a wipe with.
Well, that's the whole point of it.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, but like
it's
you don't want to give
strong.
You want to give all these vets a super huge advantage against these new players. Like we already have such a huge advantage with our experience. Then to add just gold and items and gear on top.
I just want my bag. I hate the idea of having to be screwed on that bag.
No reason for the cosmetics, but I mean, like the bag.
Yeah, the cosmetics. They said the cosmetics weren't ready as an artwork and animations or something, but I want my bag.
Yeah,
I want my bag.
This guy wants his bag. Give him his bag. Yeah,
half of my inventory is gold
6.5K, dude. It's there.
4 bags sitting in your shared stash so that you just have global 4K global gold. It's just it's the dream. It's the dream.
How about that Terry saying that we're gonna get a full stash tab for shared stash?
Yeah, why did we get a hash
one? I actually thought it was the correct amount of space, but they said that they're gonna make it.
I'm not against it.
Cool. Is that something that we unlock through questing, or did he not specify?
I don't know.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool, actually.
That actually would be cool. Yeah,
I like that. That'd be a good route to get.
Okay, what if the larger editions of Dark and Darker get a bigger shared
Okay.
No, stop it.
$250. Hold the line edition.
The Edge of the Ice Abyss edition.
Holy crap.
I got you.
You turn into a skeleton and no longer do the skeletons attack you.
I'm playing Dungeon Born.
No, shit.
Okay.
Here we go. All right, boys. I mean, a lot of wins all the way across the board.
Oh, yeah, man. The game
like
feels
a lot more
good.
on the way. Game feels good. Player base is like nice, and it's great to see XQC and like Asmongold and OTK.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think he's coming back. Yeah, XQC's never coming back. I saw the clips of him playing. Oh,
yeah, that was one.
He didn't get to the PvP.
He's not really good at any game other than Fortnite, though, right? Is he?
No.
Shit.
Wow, Fortnite. Do you know who he is?
No, I'm not a fan. Like,
you know, my hat was. Remember my hat?
Yeah, I just know he was a React streamer, and I saw a lot of his like cringiest moments, and like I just don't pay attention.
All right, well, he used to be a professional Overwatch player. That was his.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I remember when XQC spoke normally.
Okay.
And concisely, and he made guides for Winston, and was actually a pretty heavy. He was a good gamer, and it's very confusing to see like someone that I expected to have a certain level of cognitive function when playing games.
You're talking about an Overwatch player.
If you knew like the finer, like everything that goes on in an Overwatch match, like it's not easy to learn. All right, knowing every single character's cooldowns, how quickly they're generating out from how much damage they're dealing, etc. Like there's a lot that goes into that. So to play that at the level he was at, and he wasn't bad. I played against him a bunch in it. It was just to see him playing Dark and Darker. I was like, oh yeah, oh my god.
Well, think about when you first started playing Dark and Darker.
I do. But even like the basic sort of stuff, the very basic, like this monster, I cannot walk through it. Right?
No.
But in Overwatch you can, you know.
Yeah. Listen, it took you like 3,000 hours to get where you are. And
I don't disagree.
I think XQC would get there in like 300.
He did not look like he was having fun. But if he's still playing it, then I want him to keep playing it and enjoying it.
I think he played it today.
But he needs a knight. That's what he needs.
Oh, yes. True.
Guide him in, boss. Get him in there.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not a knight.
I'm gonna have to pull in the big guns here. Like it's been over a week, and the application said, like, hey, if you haven't heard from us in 3 to 4 days,
I didn't even get
don't call us, we'll call you. Like
I got a DM, and they were like, hey, be a knight.
Here.
I said yes, and I haven't heard any shit.
Was accepted before I even had the application link. And then Ken was, I think he applied a day after me. He's accepted already. I'm over here. I'm convinced it's ageism. I'm calling it. It's ageist. Iron Mace is ageist.
You're like Barristan sell me. Like, yeah, we don't need you anymore. The Night Guard.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Throw me out.
Now I can cut through the 9 of you like cake.
Yeah.
What a good line. What a good line.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And then he dies in some shithole fucking. It was so stupid. It's not in the book, by the way.
Speaking of which, Sunday, House of Dragons comes back.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Something else. The Boys started.
The Boys. Today?
Yeah,
it's already out.
The Boys started.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, I'm doing that for stream.
Things to enjoy.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think that's a good place to end it, fellas. Let's try to do it again next week. No promises, chat, but we will do our level best. Now that the game's feeling good, we got a player pop that's 45K ish, I'd say, on average. And I did check the Steam charts. 2/3 of those players are coming from Steam. 30K is the average on Steam. So that's a nice little bump. So that's Blacksmith and Epic. Yeah. I'd be curious to know how many are from Epic. I'll bet you it's less than 3K, because I'm guessing we're still getting 12K from Blacksmith. Easy.
Yeah, it's looking good. So, looking up. Everything is great.
Good.
I mean, if we take one and take it from the other and go for the total, we can figure out Epic, right? Well, I guess we can't really get the exact number for Blacksmith.
Right.
A little too much math.
Yeah.
I'll see you pointing to your hat. You're wearing an arena hat.
Yes,
I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a tick, dude.
You pointed, and I was like, wait, Tark. I'm like, XCC played arena? That's crazy.
How long have you worn your Overwatch hat, Alex?
Dude, I've had that hat since before, like, when Overwatch was announced at BlizzCon. I'm pretty sure that's when I bought the hat at BlizzCon. I bought that fucking hat. So that's a big history hat. Like, almost every clip I've got where I'm wearing a hat, it's that hat. I need to find this fucking hat. It's not lost, it's just misplaced. I swear to God, if I hear another goddamn word.
Chat will be back next week for the funeral of N-Boss's hat.
Yeah.
So it's not.
And the welcoming of the new, like, kitten puppy hat to replace it.
I'm just going to get some fucking cat ears and put them on my headset. That's it.
Smart. I'd sub.
Yeah, I'd sub. I get.
Yeah.
They'll light up every
I'd sub and I'd shoot you with ping pong. So everything works.
You could do that. I forgot that's still enabled. That would have been a fun addition to the podcast. Yeah, so I was thinking about the fuck.
All right, guys. It's been a pleasure as always. Thanks to everybody tuning in from all channels, all chats. Say hi to the YouTubes for later. See you guys in the next one.
See you next week.
Gentlemen.
Hold the line.
A pleasure.
Hold the line.
There's way more people holding it nowadays.
Oh,
they need a dark and darker hat.
Big line.
All right, guys.
I'm out of here.
Adios.
Peace.
Peace
Nerds.
and love.